We got rejoicing. We got Mr. Know-it-alls. We have anxiousness. And today's reading, Luke chapter 10. Along with the 12 that Jesus sent out, Jesus sends out 70 more people. 70 more disciples to go out and to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Then we have an expert of the law of God that comes up to Jesus and says, "What must I do? What does the law of Moses say? Teacher, how do I inherit eternal life?" And Jesus questions him and says, "Well, what does the law of Moses says?" And knowing all the right things to say, he says, "Well, of course, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself." Then he asks Jesus, who is my neighbor? And so Jesus gives a story that we all know of the Good Samaritan. After this, we see Martha and Mary, anxiousness. Now, when Jesus sends out the 70, notice as you read, there's no high qualification, there's no high education, there's no high status, there's nothing about them, no titles. But they have been equipped by Jesus and then therefore sent out by Christ. And they come back pumped up to Jesus of how demons flee from them and how they're able to do great things. And I love what Jesus does. Jesus reminds them, that's good, calm down, but this is what's important, that your name is written in the book of life. And then we come to this law expert that we were talking about. And Jesus gives the story of the Good Samaritan to pull out 3 key principles. That a lack of love is easily justified, even though it's never right. That's what we try to do. We try to justify it. That our neighbor is anyone of any culture or creed or social background. Some may say race, but I believe there's only one race, and that's the human race. And then love means acting to meet the person's needs. And we're able to do that. Wherever we live, there's always someone who is in need. Martha and Mary, we will start reading about. One sits at the front door, someone just knocked. One sits at the feet of Jesus and the other is anxious in the kitchen. And Jesus says, calm down, she has chosen the better piece. There's many things and a lot of reading today that we could see. But I wanted to point out this. One, there's always job, there's always employment in the kingdom of heaven. Christ always has employment for you to do. How are you carrying out the employment of Christ? 2, are you loving your neighbor? If you only love those who love you, what reward do you get back? And 3, sit at the feet of Jesus today. Don't be anxious about tomorrow, for you don't have the power to change it. God bless you.